Why don't we get started? Okay. So thank you so much for joining our Unmasked event. I'm Leanne Gordon, and it is my privilege to host the conversation tonight. I invited one of my very favorite couples, David and Sherry Albert, and another good friend, Alan Isolda, to share their stories, their perspective, and some of the key reasons that they chose to join the Juice Plus company. First, Sherry will kick things off talking about Juice Plus from a product perspective. Then Alan will talk about the business from a new partner perspective. And then we'll hear from David, who has been a partner with his wife for more than a decade. And if you have a thought or a question, feel free to post it in the chat or stay on afterwards for a little bit if you want to. So whether you're a Juice Plus customer or already a partner, or maybe a spouse or a partner of a partner, we hope this will be fun, encouraging, relevant, and unmask, hopefully, more of why the Juice Plus business is such a great option for so many people. So first, I get to introduce my wonderful friend, Sherry Albert. She is the proud mom of two amazing young adults. She is also the owner of Integrity Health Source, an advanced practice registered nurse, a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and an instructor at the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. With 35 plus years of experience, she has seen the life-changing effects of chronic disease on the individual, family, and community, and this propels her each day to meet people right where they are in their wellness journey. I know that personally. I could give you lots of examples, but just one. When my last child was born and was a little on the colicky side, Sherry came to my house several times. She has an amazing heart for people. She's been the healthcare speaker at numerous Juice Plus boot camps and regionals, and you're about to get a taste of why. Sherry, thank you so much for being on tonight and sharing why you love Juice Plus.
Thank you, Leanne. I really do appreciate those kind words. I'm very excited to see all that we're able to join in. And our conversation when we first got on was just really makes me feel even more excited to share a bit with you for just a few minutes. You know, as I was thinking about our topic for conversation today, Juice Plus Unmasked, I think one of the things I appreciate most is the transparency of the Juice Plus company. The whole food nutrition that does good things in our bodies, and the credibility of the research, that credibility that provides the evidence for this. I'm going to share my screen for just a minute. You know, Juice Plus makes no claims. It's not about treating or curing any specific conditions or diseases. It is just healthful, plant-based nutrition, highly concentrated, delivering that powerful punch, and it's supported by over 40 independent clinical studies. And also recognizing that everyone's Juice Plus experience may vary. That's very important to acknowledge that. Oops, sorry about that. We'll go back. You know, at first glance, it almost seems too good to be true. Look at all of the ingredients here on this graphic. I knew the benefit as a clinician of adding each and every one, what vitamins, what phytonutrients, what good things it would do in the body. But again, it is the synergy of all these ingredients together that really delivers that powerful nutritional punch. You know, as I thought about adding them, you know, you come across issues such as budget, availability, and then if you were able to satisfy those two items, then you have the likability factor. Would your family actually appreciate all of these things? And so again, the synergy of all of these items together is what really propelled me and really got me excited. You know, that evidence that is present in the research, over 20 years of clinical research, my direct personal experience with clinical research, and specifically the research process, is what led me to this group of medical journals. Now, I heard, I think it might have been you, Christina, early on talking about, you know, the geeky, the science part of it. That is definitely me. And we could spend a very long time talking about it, but we will not do that today. But know that this is what really got me excited. The clinical evidence for the fact that juice plus gets into our body, that bioavailability. 18 or more studies provided the evidence for that. In this body of research, in these journals here, you'll also see information about juice plus effect on inflammation, on immune health, on heart health, on lung health in smokers, obesity and insulin resistance, DNA and nutrigenomics. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. And even the health of our skin and nails, if those other things aren't really on your radar just yet. Thinking of this list that I just shared with you, is there anything in this list that is important to you or the people that you love, or perhaps a friend? Again, it was the combined results. I'm going to unshare it for just a minute now. It was the combined results of at least 6 studies that looked at nutrigenomics, DNA, that began to answer the question, how does adding Juice Plus affect the health and the function of our genes? You know, nutrigenomics, just simply stated, is how does the food we eat talk to our genes? And these were the studies that really got my attention, because you see, a big part of my parents' and grandparents' story is a multitude of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, and several different forms of cancer. And then last but not least, Alzheimer's disease. You know, there is so much that we can do specifically around the areas of nutrition and lifestyle. And I knew that if I didn't do something different for our family, we could expect these same things to happen. So almost 14 years ago, and certainly all the years prior to that in clinical practice, it was on my radar, that link between nutrition and disease. But 14 years ago, when I found that body of research that I just shared with you, I had already begun to think about things. We had done a few things in our family, but we were a very busy family, perhaps not unlike you. At that time, our sweet daughter, who I believe is on the call tonight, thank you, Jess, you know, she was in dance 4 days a week. Our son playing soccer 3 to 4 days a week. We were doing things on every single weekend. Volunteer commitments, you get the picture, probably not unlike similar things that are present in your family and in your life. As a clinician, I knew that I wanted our family to experience the same kinds of things that I had found in the research. So adding Juice Plus to our plan for health just made sense. It was also a catalyst for other changes that we wanted to make. Again, just making sense on so many levels. It was not too good to be true. Like I shared earlier, it was a major part of the solution. And we were able to also plug into the Healthy Starts for Families program, which was a great help to our budget. I was encouraged by the summary of several 100,000 families, not thousands, several 100,000s of families who reported consuming less fast food and soft drinks, fewer days missed from school and work, fewer doctor's visits, which translated to less over-the-counter medication and prescription meds, drinking more water, and my personal favorite, eating more fruits and vegetables. You know, I have seen this in my own family and in my clinical practice as well. You know, this 10-second habit of taking my capsules almost every day for the last 14 years is honestly really one of the few things I've been able to do consistently. We even started growing our own produce using the aeroponic tower garden from Juice Plus about 8 years ago. You know, stepping out into our own backyard and picking fresh organic produce several times a day was really a blessing these last few weeks. But then sharing this with family and friends, it's good for the body and it's also good for the soul. For our family, Juice Plus is truly the gift that keeps on giving. And for that, I am truly grateful. Leanne, back to you.
Sherry, thank you so much Appreciate your perspective and story, and thank you for being on the call. Now I get to introduce Alan Isolda. He lives in Jacksonville. He retired a couple years ago and just recently became a Juice Plus partner after first being a customer for several months. I've asked him to share a little bit about his background, his Juice Plus story, and his thoughts about Juice Plus from a business perspective. Alan, welcome.
Thank you, Leanne. As Leanne mentioned, I'm happy to say that I did retire after a 35 years sales career, the last 21 with Oracle Corporation. And for those of you not familiar with high tech, Oracle is a software company. Leanne asked me to share with you a story I told her about goal setting in my early years, and then again why I thought Juice Plus made sense to me as a business opportunity. So my background is I grew up in Western Pennsylvania in a blue-collar family to great parents. Growing up, we didn't have a whole lot of extra money, but we always had enough for what we needed. So not having extra money to go on vacations and things like that never really impacted me. Heck, I never even knew that until a few years ago when I was speaking to my mother about some things that happened in my childhood. But what did impact me was that as I was growing up, I had a good friend whose parents would invite me over to their house on a Saturday night to spend the night occasionally. And then Sunday morning we would get up, we'd put on our best Sunday clothes, and we would go to church. And then afterwards we would go to this private dining club that my friend's father belonged to. And he was very successful in the car business. And it really made an impact on me. And I said to myself at that point, and I was probably 12 or 13 years old, you know, I really want to be able to afford to do that when I grow up. Be able to have a nice car and go to dinners like that, because that's something that my parents and we really didn't have an opportunity to do. So at that point, I set a very high financial goal for myself, again, at 12 or 13 years old. So fast forward, I'm now in my early 40s and having experienced the same ups and downs that we all go through. And I'm sitting there one day looking at my personal financial statement, and I'm looking at it, and I mean, I am nowhere near being on target for my financial goal. I mean, I'm not even in the same hemisphere or ballpark, whatever term you want to use. I wasn't close. So I said to myself, look, I really need to make some changes in my life if I plan to retire the way I had planned when I was 12 or 13 years old. So I really refocused and joined Oracle Corporation. And I'm happy to say after 21 years at Oracle, I was able to live well and go out to nice dinners and really retire well beyond that initial financial goal that I had set. So goal setting for me was very important. But, you know, as I approached retirement, a good friend of mine suggested I read this book by an author by the name of Wes Moss. And Wes is a financial planner up in the Atlanta area. And he wrote this book entitled, You Can Retire Sooner Than You Think. So I decided I might want to take a look at this book because my friend Mike, who had retired at 55, which was younger than I was at the time, and he still had 2 girls in college. So I figured he might be onto something. So I'll give you the cliff notes. One of the main concepts in the book was that you really, as you approach retirement and get into retirement, you really should have multiple sources of income. Pension, Social Security, whatever the case might be, rental income. So Wes recommends preferably 4 to 5 sources of income, but at a minimum 3 to 4. Well, at the time when I read the book, I'm entering retirement with 2 sources of income, which I felt were really solid. But after reading the book and listening to Mike, I really thought that he might be onto something, and that a 3rd source of income for me may be a good insurance policy. So I thought about things like real estate and flipping homes. My father was in construction, and I love remodeling. I'm actually in therapy for it right now because I've remodeled my condo, I think like 5 or 6 times now. I thought about doing some part-time consulting or some type of part-time job that gave me the flexibility so that I could travel and do the things that I worked a lifetime to achieve. But right after I retired, my life took a turn for the worse. My wife of 30 years died of cancer, and it gave me a whole new perspective of life. We thought we were eating well, and we were working out 4 or 5 days a week, but obviously there was a gap in what we were doing. So suffice it to say that I've really got a new focus on being healthy and researching how to stay healthy and filling that gap. So 5 months ago, when I was introduced to Juice Plus and being the analytical person that I am, I decided to do a few things. First, I began to research the product and looked at the results of the research studies that Sherry had mentioned. I listened to some of the videos that the healthcare professionals have posted about why they promote Juice Plus for some of their patients. But most importantly, I was really listening to my body and how it made me feel personally. So here's what I noticed in a nutshell. First, I had more energy. I wasn't taking those little 5-hour energies every afternoon. It appeared as though I was recovering from colds a lot faster than I was before, but I was a little bit skeptical about that until I spoke to my daughter, who I also got to take Juice Plus, and she said, "Dad, I experienced the same thing." And lately, I've noticed that I'm not suffering from my seasonal allergies. And for those of you that don't live in Florida, Florida allergy season is 12 months long, so there's always something looming down here. And along with the allergies, for me, comes dry eyes, and neither of which I'm experiencing now. So it's really a blessing for me. And because of the impact of Juice Plus, I've decided to make a few other changes in my life. And I've changed my diet slightly and my exercise routines. And what else has happened to me is that I was on 3 medications entering retirement, and actually up until 6 months ago. And now I'm only on 1. So I really hope to get off that one as well. So to me, it just makes common sense, and it's been proven that there are benefits, as they've always said, to eating more fruits and vegetables. And now I'm experiencing it personally. So based on those results, now I definitely wanted to share Juice Plus with my friends and family. So I started looking at it from a business perspective. I just attended my first Juice Plus conference, and it was amazing. This year, as you probably know, it was all online. They did a fantastic job. Great to hear from the CEO about the company's future direction, the product development from the COO, and their director of IT was talking about this new digital platform that they'll be rolling out to all of us here over the summer. But for me, when I looked at the business opportunity, there were a number of key factors that really resonated with me. First, going back to the gold standard research was first and foremost in my mind, that validating the benefits of Juice Plus, and again, as I experienced. The cost of entering the business is $52 a year compared to real estate where you'd be laying out tens of thousands of dollars. Great active community, team support and coaching to help you get started, and for me to stay engaged as we move forward. The accounting and operations are all done for us. And most importantly, the marketing material is excellent. It's as good or better than the Fortune 100 company that I spent 21 years at. So in my opinion, everything you need to really start a business is provided to you for $52 a year. I mean, it's really hard to beat. And I can work as much as I want or as little as I want, and I can make $500 a month or much, much more based on what I've seen from talking to Leanne and some of the people on her team. So it's really quite impressive. But here's something else that blew my mind as I was entering in retirement. I was speaking to my financial planner, and he was telling me about this 4% rule. And some of you may already know about the 4% rule, but for those of you that don't, the 4% rule in a nutshell is really that you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio value each year in retirement without incurring a substantial risk of running out of money before we leave this world. So whether you've saved 100,000, 500, a million, whatever that number happens to be, that's how much you can withdraw in retirement and be safe. So I started thinking to myself, the fact is that someone can build a Juice Plus business that generates $40,000 a year of supplemental income, and it would be like having $1 million in the bank. So at this point, for me, what would take longer would be harder for me to save another $1 million or start a Juice Plus business. So I don't know about you, but I'm going with Juice Plus. So, in summary, I'm really looking forward to this new chapter of my life. Living life on purpose, and building a third source of income for my retirement. Do I really need more income? It would be nice, but not necessary. But as crazy as it may seem, the Juice Plus business opportunity looks like it'd be a lot of fun and exciting, especially when I compare it to the 21 years I spent in high tech. So just like I did when I was 12 or 13 years old, I have set a few more goals for myself. First and foremost, helping the people that I love get healthier and create a supplemental income if they so choose. Second, I'd love to build an extravagant travel fund to be able to travel when, where, and how I want to travel, and really to donate to some of the charities that really mean a lot to me these days. So someone told me something recently that really impacted me personally, and I thought I'd share it with you as I close. He said, Alan, it's never too late to start down a new path. So why not you, and why not now? So I just wanted to say I am on a new path and very excited about the possibilities for me in Juice Plus, and who knows, maybe you will be too. So Leanne, with that, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alan. I so appreciate you being on tonight and your perspective. And now it is my privilege to introduce our last speaker, David Albert, Sherry's husband. And David is a healthcare executive with 4 decades of critical care and health industry leadership experience. He also has a pretty serious sports background, and like a lot of us, wants to perform at his best forever. Get this, he skied competitively for UCF and is continuing that desire to never stop by participating in competitive water skiing tournaments even today. So cool. David has been a great support and partner to Sherry in her growing Juice Plus business and community from day one. He's also been an incredible help in running the Florida Tropics Boot Camp and many, many other Juice Plus events behind the scenes. So from his health and industry experience, you'll hear his perspective about Juice Plus the product and Juice Plus the business. Thank you so much, David.
Thanks, Leanne. I appreciate that nice introduction, and it's great to be here tonight to talk to everybody for just a few minutes. I appreciate the opportunity to share my perspective of being a Juice Plus partner for well over a decade now. And I get a chance to share what I've seen and what I've learned from a businessman's perspective and from a partner in the business. So my wife Sherry introduced me to the Juice Plus product over 10 years ago. I think it's like 14 years now. And it has made all the difference in my ability to maintain my best health and in my sports performance and in recovery. It also eliminated my ibuprofen deficiency, we like to say. I'm serious. I was an ibuprofen fan every day, it seemed like, for something that ached, and it really went away. It's hard to imagine that I would still be water skiing competitively now that I'm in my 60s without Juice Plus. My recovery from injuries has been amazing. My PT support team can't believe the couple times I've had to go back to be rehabbed for things that I've strained or torn. They're like, Dave, you're recovering so fast. What is up? It's like 2 months and you're over a grade 3 hamstring tear. And I like, Juice Plus? You need to be prescribing this and recommending it to your patients, doc. I just love what it's done. I like to say I love my Juice Plus body because it bounces back. I don't want to grow up. I refuse to grow up, and it's helping me in that respect quite a bit. And of course, yes, there is more. Early on, we discovered that Juice Plus had much more to offer. It's a stable and no limits business. Well, then life happened a few years ago. I was faced with a major career challenge. After over 25 years of seniority and leadership in a Fortune 50 company, we experienced a merger. And through several reorgs over a couple of years, I was forced to interview for my job 3 times in 18 months. As Alan mentioned, a third or fourth source of income at that point would have been really nice. But we didn't have that then, and that really underlined the need to build a backup plan. We could have lost all that we'd worked for, and this underlined the fact that a stable job that's not dependent on corporate changes is priceless. We look at the future now with much different eyes through the Juice Plus vision. So from that perspective, and from being a Juice Plus partner for over a decade, I like to describe what I've seen and what I've learned specifically about the Juice Plus company. First is the strength of the company. This April, the Juice Plus company reached 50 years. And in that month, the company also added 50,000 new customers. This company is still on fire. 70,000 reps are in the US. It reaches 25 countries and 17 languages worldwide. So I talked about the strength of the products, or Sherry talked about the strength of the products. It's amazing what these products do to support your body, between the capsules, between the shakes that I have every day, and then the fun of growing with the tower, anything that you like to eat. It's an amazing just breadth of product. In the scientific validation, I also come from a medical background, and knowing that it's all based on studies and it's verified and it's double-blinded and et cetera. And 27 years of experience with these studies, and over 40 studies now and growing. The heart of the company is amazing. Jay Martin is the founder and president of the Juice Plus company, and he is very well quoted in saying that since 1970, our mission has been to inspire healthy living around the world and to build a stable and lasting company that helps as many people as possible realize their dreams. For Sherry and I, our business has really been stable. It's lasted over 14 years, and it's given us the permission to dream. And we know that the best is yet to come. Then there's the need for the product. The growth forecast of the nutraceutical market is huge. It is the next trillion-dollar industry. So we all have a choice each day. That now that we know about Juice Plus, we can be on the spending side of that, or we can be on the earning side of that. This is a choice that's up to you. If you want to let someone else take your spot on the earning side, that's your choice. But I recommend that you take a good look at the earning side. The need for better health through whole food nutrition is more desired than ever, so the demand is going to continue to grow, especially with what we've experienced in this last year. I've never seen so many people that are conscious of health and keeping themselves healthy. It's amazing in that one respect. That's a healthy thing. Because we are the most researched and highest selling whole food product in the world, with now nearly 1 billion in annual sales, we're extremely well positioned to be a key player in this growing industry. Again, you can be on the spending side, the earning side, or both. Next, I love the integrity of the business model. Compensation is based on product sales, not bounties for recruiting or money for purchasing product yourself. It's based on the product. The characteristics of the business model we can give you a glimpse of here in the compensation plan. Basically, it's a home-based, borderless, uncapped business with an increasing commission rate if you want to invite others to join you. The benefits of this sales model: the pay structure pays you for what you do. You can work it as a hobby and get paid like a hobby, or you can work it as a business and get paid based on how hard you work. Oh, that's me. There are multiple ways to create income. So ask the person who invited you on this call to tell you more about the different color areas in this chart. So your efforts drive what your earning opportunity looks like. This is quite different from the traditional job that we've all experienced. It can be a part-time opportunity to earn supplemental income. So these are the characteristics of the possibilities. There's multiple levels of achievement. Here's where I am at the Partner Plus level over on the far left. And then Sherry is a qualifying national marketing director. And then Leanne has reached the top level as the presidential marketing director plus. Amazing. They had to actually create a stage just for you, Leanne. I like to give you a hard time about that. So it's a great example for us to shoot for. The other crazy thing about this business, it's a willable personal business. You can pass this on to your family. There's a generous health plan built into it. It rivals what I receive in corporate America. with health, dental, vision, life, health advocacy, long-term disability, long-term care, telemedicine, tuition reimbursement. It's all right there. And through all that, there's flexibility in time and location. You can do it where you live life, be it at the beach, be it at your home, be it on vacation, be it anywhere you happen to be and want to be. You can do it right there. And affordability, $52 a year to be a partner. That's amazing when you look at what it takes to open up a business now. Another incredible thing about the company is it has to do with the overhead and logistics. They're all provided by the company. There's no buying. There's no storing inventory in your garage. There's no shipping. There's no billing your customers. This is a tremendous benefit. And through all of that, we can help others on their health. We can help them focus on their health. We can help them focus on their financial wellness goals. So this may just help fill the gap between what you did save and what you wish you did. And unlike corporate America, there's no retirement age. The only person who can fire you is you. Now, it's important, again, to remind everybody, the company doesn't make income claims. It's not for everybody, but anybody can do it. The harder and smarter you work, the more you can earn. And finally, this is about being part of a community of like-minded individuals. Somebody mentioned earlier that it's amazing the people that are in the Juice Plus company. And you almost have to pinch yourself. It's like, where are all these nice people coming from? You get to be part of a family here. And you get to, and I think it's because we have a common thread. We want to make a difference in people's lives. And this time, you aren't hired into a group where you hope you fit. You get to decide who you spend more time with to make and reach for goals together. It's like getting to custom build your own family. So I am so grateful that Sherry and I get to do this business as a team and as a couple. There is incredible power in team. Thanks, Leanne. I think you're muted, Leanne.
Okay, I think
There you go.
awesome. I am so excited. Oh my gosh, David, I absolutely loved what you had to share. Thank you so much. They did not create that just for me. But everyone that wants to can get there, which is such a beautiful, powerful, amazing opportunity and something I never imagined. But I love this conversation. Thank you for what you shared, David. Thank you, Sherry and Ellen. What a phenomenal gift this is. And I thought I would wrap it up just by sharing a little bit of my story as well. So 16 years ago, I learned about Juice Plus, and eventually Juice Plus made sense to me. I had been juicing for our family for 7 years. And so I didn't think anything in a capsule could be as good as juicing veggies yourself. We called them swamp drinks. But like Sherry talked about, the research and the healthcare professionals that were sharing Juice Plus, the credibility gave me the confidence to try it. And I was so floored. I had no idea how much better we could feel. I had more energy. I got nicer. I felt better. My kids got Juice Plus for free and were sick less. And it was definitely less expensive than juicing. I became a believer fast. So I made my parents eat Juice Plus, and then I started sharing it with moms around me. Juice Plus was making a difference everywhere, and I loved being part of that. Then I started getting a check for sharing it. In listening to Alan and David talk about the business, there were several things they shared that I lived through. Alan talked about setting goals early. Not me. I wasn't trying to build a business. I couldn't even spell business back then. I didn't set any goals at all. So they were mailing me this check that was paying for our family's Juice Plus, and I was amazed. I had quit my job years before when I had my first child to be home, and that meant we were living paycheck to paycheck. And we didn't even have health insurance. So the fact that just sharing it with those I loved paid for it was incredible. I set my first goal after that, we were homeschooling, and I wanted to pay for music lessons for all of our kids. We started them at 3. It was a lot of music lessons. And I had 4 kids when I got started sharing Juice Plus, had 2 more along the way, both in my 40s. Incredible picture of health, so grateful, but so lots and lots of music lessons. So I wanted to earn an extra $500 a month, which seemed like a totally scary goal back then. And it was easy to do. And because I had fallen in love with the product, the company, the community, and others believed in me long before I believed in myself. Then my husband's job was falling apart, and I made that my second goal. In less than 2 years, plus I'd had my 5th baby that year, I made the top level of the company, which not only provided that incredible health benefits package that David mentioned, but also significant income. And my husband was able to retire from that job that was falling apart and come home. Mission accomplished. And I was amazed. Alan mentioned you can make a little bit of money or you can make a lot over time. And I've lived that. At 3 years, I was making a 6-figure income. 6 months later, it was 5 figures a month. I had never imagined working from home and creating real income. Fast forward, about 9 years ago, my paycheck had significantly grown. People I loved were sharing it. The people they loved were sharing it. And but I was about to experience some of that insecurity that David mentioned. We're all vulnerable, whether it's in corporate America or whether it's in our personal lives. And all of a sudden, I was a single mom with 6 kids. My youngest was 18 months old. I did not see that coming. And as vulnerable as I felt personally, financially, I felt secure. I felt financially stable in the midst of chaos. I fell in love with this business and this community at a whole new level. Fast forward again. I've been able to take care of all my kids all these years. And that's a lot of college and cars and braces and dance and more music and clothing and food delivered every other day now with the 4 that are still at home sheltering and distance learning here. And I could not be more grateful. Sherry talked about our mission to help others. I got to help my own family first. And today I get to help others have more choices also, just like we've had. And it's an incredible privilege. So whether you are looking for a way to offset some smaller expenses, or whether you want to build a plan B, or whether you're looking for a whole new career, the person who invited you would love to help you learn more. We so appreciate you joining us tonight. Thank you so much. We deeply appreciate your time and hope that this has been valuable. And for those of you that might want to stay on and ask questions or comment, we're happy to do that for a little bit too. Otherwise, feel free to leave feedback in the chat. And I hope you have an amazing night. Thank you so much.